What's up, everybody, and welcome to the. Don't do that, Mello. Don't give me all that. Welcome to the continued to be Untitled NFL and Fantasy Football Show, brought to you by PopCulturePros.com. Welcoming back in my buddy from last week, who is here. Wait, boom, Timmy Tabala. What's
What's up,
up, man?
guys?
How's it going?
It's going. Let's go.
It's right. I got Mello right down there in the corner, making his
Boom.
show debut. What's up, man?
Nothing much. Happy to be here, guys.
Glad we're happy that you're here too this week. Uh, and joining us as the lone American left in Afghanistan, right down there. There goes Bert. What's up, man?
Hello. I'm hiding since I came through in that clutch week 1 fantasy victory.
Oh boy, and we're gonna get to that. I believe you have some grievances to air against a certain quarterback. We'll get there though. But first, as I typically like to do on our shows, let's go round robin. Talk about how everything's been going for you. How's life outside of football? So we'll start. I know it's tough to separate it, and Keith on the Met show every single time I say without baseball, and he sneaks he doesn't like rules and stuff. So we'll start reverse. Bert, how's Afghanistan?
I don't know how Afghanistan is, but everything in South Florida, is fine. Things are getting a little crazy with COVID still acting up with
getting crazy.
Blink if they're treating you good. Blink if they're treating you good.
No, but I'm good. Just been working a lot, trying to get up on my review game. But other than that, just excited for another week of football.
Week 2 is coming up, and we're obviously we'll recap week 1 and then head into our week 2 picks a little bit later on. Mello, how's everything going for you, buddy? Busy, I bet.
Absolutely, but the busyness is going to come to a halt after. Well, it's going to be a different.
Well, don't make any promises here.
No. Well, busyness in my life.
Okay.
So, I don't think I've announced it to anybody because I haven't really been on a show in a minute and haven't been able to talk about too much. But I, after Friday, will no longer be working for Carnival Cruise Lines at the Port of Miami.
Where are you taking those talents to?
I will be taking my talents to another company, a big-time company, a company that I'm not very familiar with, but it is none other than the company who is headlined by none other than Flo and Jamie, and that is Progressive.
Oh, wow. There you go. Okay. I like it. Nice. I like it. Completely different avenue you went down. Sometimes you just need a change. And you know what? I got tired of them calling you during shows, too. You get to show love to Pop Culture Pros.
Absolutely.
Dave's here. This is number 1, Progressive. I'm sorry. I hope you know that going into it. Oh, well, congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
Awesome,
taking my talents elsewhere, money talks a little bit. So
and a little bit less stressful with what's going on in the world, right?
I'm going to get my weekends back. It's going to be Monday to Friday for a bit. And, it's going to feel nice. Different change. Scarier world, but, I'm up for the challenge.
Man. You got it.
Thank you.
We'll see. Timmy, Big Daddy T, what's going on, my friend?
Same shit, different day, guys. I'm on vacation this week. I'm just chilling out. Kids started school. I had a miserable football week this week. I'm sure we're going to get into it. Fantasy and picks. But, week 1 is a crapshoot, so whatever. Yep. We'll see. I'm ready to go.
How's everything going at school up there?
As of right now, everyone's okay to get in, but that may change soon. Like my son can't go to the movies right now. He can't go to the movies with me. He's not vaccinated. He's not,
the vaccination.
He only has 1 shot, so he has to get the other one the 21st. So as of right now, he can't go. He can't go anywhere, and that sucks. He's my movie buddy. So I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. But yeah, school wise, they haven't pushed it yet, but they're going to.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening all over, and we won't go into it. But all right, so I've been doing my thing here, throwing up contests on Pop Culture Pros, getting pissed off at every single sport imaginable because my teams don't want to freaking cooperate with anything. Last night, it's just a heart-wrenching loss for my baseball team.
I was watching. I was going to call you because I have to watch my Seinfeld at 11. 11, and I turn it on. It's the goddamn Mets and Cubs. I'm like, come on, stop with this stuff already. And then I actually watching the game, and I was like, ooh, that sucks. I hate that runner on second bullshit. I can't stand it.
I do too, but yesterday it worked very much in our favor. The Cardinals didn't even score in their half. We had. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, let's get to football. Let's start talking about what went down last week in week 1. We all know that week 1 is topsy-turvy, up and down. We don't know the teams yet. We can say that this team is going to be great and this team's going to suck, and then out of the gate, all sorts of shit goes on and everything's kind of like turned upside down, right? So let's go through and again, for you guys who tuned in last week and submitted all your questions, and we talked about fantasy trades and all that stuff, keep that stuff coming as we go through. So let's start off with what we started off with last week, and it was the Cowboys heading to Tampa to play the Bucks. They left too much time on the clock at the end, and too much time on the clock for Tom Brady is about 30 seconds. So. Bert, we were chatting about it in the group. We have several Cowboy fans on the or is it several?
I think it's just one.
It's just Kyle. All right, so Kyle hates his football team. Bert, what did you see going on that Thursday night game? Did you think it was going to be that close? Did you think it was going to be that exciting? Talk to us.
I honestly thought that the Cowboys weren't going to score as much as they did. I felt like Tampa was just going to be dominant the whole game because if you look at all the teams of last year, Tampa literally bought back every starter and just added more weapons to their
all
team.
22.
So it's not like they needed help with anything. And Dallas, you had a lot of questions coming in. Is Dak, is his shoulder okay? Is he going to be able to, make the throws appropriately? And to my surprise, he did. I mean, it was a very entertaining game. Definitely what you want to see for opening night, opening season. But like you said, they just gave Tom too much time. Like he literally, I think it was like second and 5 or 2nd and 6. He literally just threw the ball out of bounds like 3 times because they were already in field goal position. He was just like,
so not only did they leave too much time on the clock, but they left.
He was like, yeah, I'm good.
All that time and boom. 3 dump offs. Out of bounds.
Too easy.
Which the last one was probably intentional grounding, but you ain't getting that called on Tom Brady. Mello, what'd you think about that game? Was it the best possible way to kick off the season? And what'd you think about Dak and his shoulder and the lower leg and how he kind of held up there?
Looking at it from a fan's perspective, not my favorite team's perspective.
Yeah.
It was definitely a good way to kick off the season. You had a back and forth. You weren't sure how the Cowboys were going to come out because of, like we said, Dak. Is the defense going to do anything? Because they didn't do squat last year. Is Cooper, who said he's the best receiver in the NFL, yet he hasn't proved it. Like
he hasn't played like it, he said.
He hasn't played, so it's like, okay.
What does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. And then we were trying to see, okay, who's going to come out and be, Tom's number one go-to guy. And lo and behold, looks like, his reliable Gronk. And then AB coming out of nowhere, just revived all over again. Even though he has, a young Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, just so much talent on that team that the little things that cost them.
They have a deep squad.
They do.
That's what it is.
Imagine this week, they're not going to start Fournette. They're going to start Ronald Jones II because Fournette had that costly fumble that, could have cost them the game. But hey.
Well, he also fumbled. He fumbled, and he's gone. Anybody who plays on a Tom Brady team or a Bill Belichick team, you fumble, you're done. You won't. You're not seeing the gridiron again that day. And which sucks. For fantasy purposes, you got your guy in. You got the guy right. Or the Patriots. What's the name? He fumbled, and then gone for the rest of the game. So it's like, don't make a mistake with those two guys, or else you're done. You're banished. It's all over for you. Timmy, shaking your head. What were your thoughts in this game? That's one. And then, for the Cowboys to come in, and do you think that just based on the way that they played here, even though they lost this game, does this loss give them maybe an upper hand in the division?
Yeah, I unfortunately, you hate to say it as a Giants fan, but yeah, I picked them to win the division. I think they're easily going to run away with the division, to be honest with you. And they just proved that on Thursday. They looked really good. They looked way better than I thought they were going to look. Dak looked, and again, I hate to admit it. Kyle, go shut up. I hate to admit it, but he looked fantastic. And the reason it feels like there's a lot more Cowboy fans because Kyle is like 5 fans in one. That's why. He might be a little guy, but he talks a lot. But I thought they look. Yeah, I thought they looked great. Like you said, I thought Tampa was going to kind of blow them out of the water, and they hung in there to the last minute. And yeah, they could have won that game very, very easily. But I don't see the Cowboys having any competition in that. I mean, the Eagles, that was a fluke. That was garbage. They're not going to hold on. And I hate to admit it, but the damn Cowgirls are going to win that division.
One of the things that I as we go through what happened in week one, here's Raul, man. For me, the Cowboys played much better than I expected. Dak Prescott did well. It was an entertaining game to open the season between Dallas and Tampa. Absolutely, 100% Raul. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for the comment. Start thinking about where the surprises are coming from, and do you think that those, like overreaction theater, people already count, the Packers are done. We've seen this story before, but we'll continue to go through that. Tom Brady, by the way, with that victory, which is my point of view on the win-loss record stat for the NFL, but he's got the most wins in Week 1 games since 1950. 15 victories in Week 1. He just starts great, right? All right, let's get to some other games that we won't spend too much time on. The Texans. Who had them scoring 37 points?
Exactly.
Over the course of 3 games, let alone one game.
I know someone made me change my pick. I'm not going to say who.
Well, all I said was Deshaun Watson's not playing. But you would think.
Name 5 people on that team. I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. And I switched. I never should have switched. That's all right.
But it's the Jaguars. Come on, Timmy.
Hey, I thought they were going to be pumped up, man. You got coach. New quarterback that looks like the kid from Days of Confused. I thought they're ready to go.
Does this mean that, Steve, did you pick the Jaguars to win too?
I sure did.
Okay. I thought you convinced Timmy, and then you were like, "Nah, it's
actually no." We both were talking about Texans, but then we found out that Watson wasn't. That he's just going to be that guy that chills at the end of the bench. But I mean, Houston 3 interceptions. They had here's a fun fact for you: 3 interceptions in this game. They had 3 interceptions in all of 2020, all the entire season last year. 3 interceptions. All right, so that's that game. What did you guys think about Lawrence? I mean, always undefeated. He's never lost a real football game in his life.
Yeah, this is his first professional loss ever.
Welcome to the NFL. So, all right, Bert, what'd you think of Trevor Lawrence and how he poised for a rookie? What do you think?
I mean, he had his moments, but obviously it's going to be tough, because I don't necessarily think that he's going to be as amazing as people say he is. But I mean, we'll see. Because I think definitely like Jalen Hurts or not Jalen Hurts, the Bears quarterback, and also some other rookies. Yeah. Yeah, Justin Fields. I think he'll have a better trajectory in his career, but I just think that Trevor Lawrence is kind of, and I think the loss proved it. I mean, he had his moments, but it wasn't really too impressive of a start.
It was rough, and it's against the Texans.
He still threw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yes, he did have 3 picks, but I mean, he had a better start than Peyton Manning's first game.
Yeah.
So he still has time, and he's on the Jaguars, guys. Come on now.
He'll be on the Jaguars for as short a term as possible. I feel. I just never see it happening. Timmy, and impressed. Over 300 yards, 3 picks, but also 3 touchdowns for rookie.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts?
He had a good game for a rookie. I'm not sold on him yet either, but I'm in the middle. Well, I know you got people saying he's going to be great. You got Kyle like that saying he's going to be a bust. I'm in the middle. I don't think he's gonna be Joe Montana, but then again, I don't think he's gonna be a Trent Dilfer either. So I think he's gonna have a good career. I liked what I saw from him.
Yeah, he looked better than other quote unquote promising quarterbacks, from other teams.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Will Urban Meyer will this be his last season as head coach? As crazy as that is.
If the rumors are true.
If the rumors are true.
What's the rumor? Whoa! What's the rumor?
So apparently, who was it? Was it Woj or Schefter that reported it?
It was Schefter.
Schefter. So apparently, there's I think USC, they fired their head coach, so they have an opening, and then apparently Urban Meyer has a yearning to go back to college to coach college.
So
wow,
after a couple months.
Yeah, right.
And also he's been getting there's been some stories coming out that he isn't necessarily rubbing the players the best way in Jacksonville too. So
what's with these Florida coaches that go to the Florida teams, NFL teams, they go back to college. They go back to college. This is the Nick Saban.
Talking to you, Nick Saban.
This is Nick Saban all over again. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Nick Saban cannot go down anywhere in South Florida without an entourage of bodyguards.
Yep.
They hate him down there.
If that's the case,
I'm not going to Alabama. I'm not going to Alabama.
Yeah.
Not going to Alabama.
2 days later.
If that's the case, I say no. He won't last a year then. He won't last.
Yeah, you know what? There's an interesting. I know I bring it back to degenerate gambling, but there's a prop bet out there for Urban Meyer under on years coaching this team, and that is set at 1.5 years only.
Wow.
But he has since come out and said there is no chance that he's going to leave Jacksonville for USC. Now they should really. Somebody's got to do this. If you're out there and you do TikTok or get creative on YouTube videos, you got to have this guy saying that and going right into Nick Saban saying the same thing.
Yep.
And what happened a week later? All right, let's keep it moving here. The much touted football team, the defense. They lose. Not only do they give up a lot of points these days, but they also lose their quarterback. And for this team, who last year, you got Heineke and what's his name with the broken leg almost died, Alex Smith, rotating in and out last year. They were 2-8 without Alex Smith last year. Here comes Fitzmagic. He does his thing. He's gonna throw the ball deep, and he's gonna do this and gone. 6 to 8 weeks, between 6 and 8 weeks with a hip injury. Timmy, they lost to the Chargers. I think we both picked that with the Chargers heading over to Washington. Besides that, I mean, what's coming up on tomorrow night. You got the football team, and we'll talk about that tomorrow more in detail on the We Stomped You Out show. But what is? I mean, a lot of people had the football team winning this division. Now, again, like I said, overreaction theater, maybe not. But do they now fall way back into the pack with the Cowboys now being potentially favorites, even though they lost?
Yes, absolutely. Now, I thought the defense was going to get them. I had no confidence in Fitzmagic anyway. For me, it was all about that defense. And that defense didn't look that great. Well, then again, they're a fourth quarter defense. They won't show up to the fourth quarter, and then they'll dominate for some reason. But I wasn't making those bets on the offense. I don't care about Fitzmagic or any of that crap. Now, I think the Giants have a shot now to finish ahead of them. Yay! But how would you if I was drafted by the Redskins as a quarterback, I'd probably quit.
Washington football team.
I'd quit.
The Washington football team.
No, I don't do that.
You know what? You don't know why Keith called them on his picks today.
Ever since Joe Theismann, Mark Rippon, ever since what's his name, the other guy, Doug Williams. Every quarterback gets destroyed for the Redskins. It's one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life. If you go through their entire quarterback history, I'd quit. If I was drafted by them, I'd quit.
I mean, it happened to that guy last year. I forgot what his name was.
Who? Oh, Alex Smith, you mean? Oh, you mean the rookie?
The other guy. The guy they got from
Haskins?
Carolina. He got hurt against the Giants, and then Alex Smith came in.
Oh, Kyle.
Yeah. Well,
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, he had like the same type of injury.
What's his name?
Kyle Loletta, no?
Is it Allen? I don't think it's Allen.
Kyle
Loletta, isn't it Loletta?
It's not Loletta.
Who's the Kyle?
Oh my God! It's obviously it's not Kyle Allen. This is I confused them all last year.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
By the way, on the chat, Steve, there's a guy. His name is Boss Man Fat, and that's one of the greatest names I've ever seen in my life.
What? Where is he? Should I drop Cole Beasley for
Marquez Callaway?
For the that's the Undertaker, M. Callaway.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it this week. I wouldn't do it this week just because I think the Bills are going to come out firing this week to prove that they got a lot to prove after that loss last week. And Beasley is his safety net. Beasley is his warm blanket. Beasley is his pillow. Here, this is his Cole Beasley right here, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So I personally wouldn't make that deal right now.
Especially if it's PPR. If it's PPR, I feel like Cole Beasley gets his catches.
Yeah, I would definitely keep Cole Beasley for now.
I was right, guys. It was Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen, yeah.
That's what I said. I said Kyle. You said Allen. We got it right.
Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen.
Oh
yeah,
that team is
Boss
just
Man
jinxed.
Fat.
Their quarterback.
Who's watching us on YouTube? We appreciate you watching us on YouTube. I probably
share
wouldn't
us out. Share us
just
out.
yet. I think those two guys are entertaining. You're not talking about guys that are going to be a wide receiver 1 or even a 2 at this late. So I don't think this is a necessity for you at this point. Let's see what Raul says. The Washington football team still has a good defense, but no offense without the quarterback. They're not going to win. Not going to have many wins. And after week 1, there goes some of our picks for the season, easily with injuries and whatnot. Next game up, Seahawks headed into Indianapolis, and they won handily, 28-16.
Another great performance by Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, Mr. September, and by the way, your wife at the Met Gala, did you see that? Honoring her husband.
Very nice.
That was crazy.
Championship ring and all.
Championship ring. Got the football for the purse. I mean, how much?
Perfect.
Much better. And he was. And we'll talk about this after we go through the week 1 stuff. But he was great on the Peyton and Eli. I don't know what it's called. But they had 800,000 viewers for that. So, but we'll get into that because I really enjoyed that. And anything really to pick apart here, Timmy, with I mean, he's Mr. September. We're going to call him the MVP. It's going to happen. And then come November, it's going to be like, oh, nobody's voting for Russell Wilson. But hey, look, they're going to be in the mix to the very end. And Russell Wilson, 30 he's what does he call himself? Mr. what? Remember that rant that he went on, Mr.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'll find it. But he is what he is. Great quarterback, escapability, O-line, but he's got a great running back. Got great weapons.
Yeah, they have like 5 running backs that are all solid.
Yeah. But Chris Carson, I always feel is like he's underappreciated, and people think that he's hurt a lot more than he is when he
needs to not get hurt this season.
Yeah, but if you go back and look, he's been hurt a lot less than what we think he has. And they talked about it, and I looked it up, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. He played 15 games, but you feel like he's missed 4 or 5 games. With this nagging injury, what's worse than questionable 10 minutes before the game is going to start? And
Odell Beckham.
Odell's out. Odell out again this week. But we'll get there. Maybe one day he'll be out there to help support the East. In what might have been the worst game of the afternoon for Week 1, Jets and Panthers. Not much to discuss here. McCaffrey was his 5th game with 80 rushing yards and 80 receiving yards. The guy is just ridiculous. Did you win that? Did you win that one?
I won neither game.
Neither
I
game.
went
Okay.
0 for 2 in both my leagues. I had a horrible week. Horrible week.
Fair. That's fair.
But I see again. I thought Sam Darnold. He did what he had to do, and he stuck it to his old team.
Yeah,
he ran one, and when he ran that one, and if I were him, I would have been crotch chopping. I would have been spiking. I would have been doing everything to that bench. Yeah. It's because you got to do it. He looked pretty cool.
Is this Silence? Hello.
Silence.
Hola.
I'm digging all these names. I'm digging all the names on here today.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't the let me stomp you into the ground type performance by him, but he came out victorious, and the Panthers, Jets, looking like this is another very lost year for them. Not like a middle ground lost season. I don't think their running back is ready. Quarterback is that's going to remain to be seen. Not much weapons. So
Zach Wilson looks like he's riding the school bus with my son, and he's 12. That's what he looks like.
What do you have? 4 carries? He wasn't involved. I mean, you think in a 19-14 game, might not have been as close as what the score says, but you have the option to run the football, guys.
I mean, they look the same as they did last year. It looks like they just replaced what is it? What's this guy's name?
Darnold
in Carolina.
Darnold
Wilson. It looks like the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, same playbook.
Which is
same
not
exact playbook.
No. You did nothing. You wasted an early draft pick, essentially.
Oh, man. All right. Bengals and Vikings. Was this a shocker to anybody?
Yes. I thought the Vikings were going to win that one easily. And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of Bengals on my team, but unfortunately they were all on the bench. So, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Man, Kirk Cousins, man, when are they going to give it up on him? Like
you like that? You like that?
I've always hated him.
You like that?
That was so irritating, so annoying. Shit.
Enough's enough. The guy has not done anything. It's all these numbers, and then just comes up short every single time it matters.
So, well, speaking of him, and we talked about Cole Beasley, and there's a bunch of other guys out there. We talked about this last week, and I'd like your take on it, Mello, and your take on it, Bert. Not making this a political thing or anything like that, but the vaccination stuff has to play into your thinking when it comes to fantasy, when it comes even for real life. Because if you're not vaccinated in the NFL, you're out for 5 days if you've come in contact with anybody. So on a Thursday, if you come in contact with somebody who came in contact with somebody that is sick, you're done for 5 days. So whether you like it or whether you don't like it, for the business part of this and for fantasy, and even for the gambling part of this is huge. So you got to kind of think the Kirk Cousins. I have Ryan Tannehill in one league. If he comes in contact with somebody on Thursday, I'm looking for another quarterback, which I probably should anyway. But what's your take on it, Mello? Regardless of the political side, I don't want to get into that. But from a sports side, this is what was said. These are the rules, and this is what they have to abide by, and it's going to impact us making our money.
I mean, I think it's something still very important. It's something you got to think about, especially like you're saying, either fantasy or sports betting. Because, I mean, if your quarterback goes down and he's in contact with somebody because he's not vaccinated, that's huge. That's something you got to really take into consideration, because this isn't a baseball, where contact could be limited. No, this is like you're there next to the guy. Like you're all around.
You're in a huddle.
Something, guys. Exactly.
You're in a huddle, spitting in everyone's faces.
Like
breathing
the sweat
on
is
everybody.
running. No one's wearing a mask under that. Like, no, you're straight up getting everyone's bacteria, germs, whatever. So it's I don't know. Some guys don't understand it. Just do it.
Do it, Bert. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, look, whether you like it or not, like it's definitely something that has to be done. It sucks, but I know guys like Lamar Jackson who don't want to get it. It's just like, at the end of the day, like if it happens, you're going to be out. So if you really want to, if you want to play, then it's just like, you got to do it.
Yeah, well, yeah, or you just got to stay away from everybody. Imagine going into the fantasy playoffs and Lamar Jackson comes in contact with somebody, and you're in the championship game. Lamar Jackson is impactful on every single play, and then all of a sudden, that's gone.
Yep.
And you were in the running for $1,000 pot, and now Lamar Jackson came in contact with somebody on a Thursday and is not going to play on Sunday. That's it. Your whole fantasy season is screwed.
That might be worse than an actual injury.
Right?
I'd call my opponent and go, "Do you want to split it? Let's split it. Let's just split it right now. Let's just split it."
Maybe Fitzmagic will be back by then. You can plug him in. All right, let's get to some of these other games here. Cardinals at Titans. Where the hell did this come from? 38-13.
On the road, Cardinals.
First time going on the road with, and you're most experts are picking the other three teams in that division to go to the playoffs, and you're the odd team out. But you head into Tennessee, not a great place for opposing teams to go to, and you put up 38, and against a defense that is suspect. We all know this. But then you held these guys to 13 points. Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, who I know Bird is pissed off with on for that. And Tannehill, who's been very reliable since he got put into starting role. So what the hell happened, Tim? We know what happened. You picked the Titans, but
that's exactly what happened. I picked the Titans to win.
Is it that simple?
They hate me. I don't know what it is. I pick them to win, they lose. Pick them to lose, they win. No, well, you said it last week. Steve. You said you wouldn't be shocked if the Cardinals won, but we like the Titans at home.
Yep.
Thought it was going to be a decent game. They didn't show up at all. I mean, not even close to showing up. I don't know what the hell happened, but the Cardinals. Hey, Kyler Murray, I give him all the credit in the world, man. He looked good. The defense looked decent. JJ Watt didn't play. I didn't even see him play.
He did.
He doesn't get all the press anymore. His brother gets all the press, and his brother.
Well, he got all that money.
Ridiculous. His brother. Oh, that dude deserves that money. I don't care. That guy is a beast. He's an animal. Yeah. So the Cardinals, hey, good for them. I mean, I lost because of them, but whatever. But yeah, the Titans didn't even show up, which was kind of shocking. Like you said, Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, all these guys, and this gone.
All that hype as soon as Julio Jones signed up, it was just
fell. Which was dumb. I mean, Julio Jones has not been Julio Jones for a little bit now, and the hype around that was, I think, it was overblown. No.
Absolutely.
I mean, we saw it. I mean, it's only week one, but
it's not like he didn't have anybody in Atlanta. He had Calvin Ridley there.
Yes.
Like he had another young guy, the same thing that he has over here with AJ Brown. It just didn't make any sense. Like, oh, now he's gonna play so much better because he has Ryan Tannehill instead of Matt Ryan thrown to him. Like, no.
It was the first time in Arizona history that multiple wide receivers had 2 or more receiving touchdowns. Wow. Like, this was like historic for that franchise to go there and do that to that team, which is ridiculous. Bert, lead us off with this one. This was the score is a hell of a lot closer than the actual game was. The 49ers beat the Lions 41-33. San Francisco, the most points scored in week one in a week one road game in their history. Talk to us about that. Talk to us about this guy who went off. Nobody thought that he was going to go off, and then they have a wide receiver that they don't want to play, and people were drafting him, and 49ers don't care about fantasy.
I mean, even though they lost, I feel like Dan Campbell in his head coaching debut did a good job with the Lions. I mean, it was looking rough there for a while, especially at halftime, but they were able to come back and be resilient and at least make it entertaining. And for the 49ers, look, it's they either crash or burn with Garoppolo. So it's if they're playing in a league, if they're playing in a lead, Garoppolo's good. But if they're coming from behind, like in the Super Bowl a couple years ago, it's not going to work. So, like I said, I felt like it was a really good game. I felt like the Lions, if they would have had a couple more minutes left, they could have come back and won that game. Because I feel like San Francisco was kind of just playing for just to win, just to kind of end the game. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good debut for the Detroit. We'll see what happens. But yeah, like I said, the Niners, it all dies with Garoppolo.
Mello, I don't know if you it feels like you want to disagree with some of that, but what the hell would have happened if Jared Goff goes to the Lions and in week 1 beats the freaking 49ers? What, like, how would that would have upset the entire NFL right there?
No, yeah, absolutely. Well, I just wanted to point out with Bert that Mr. Garoppolo had a lead in the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter and then blew it. So he had a lead. It's not like they were coming from behind. So he's proven that he can blow some freaking leads. Now, if Goff goes in and just tears these guys a new one, we're talking about a whole different ballpark now with the Niners. Like, okay, they're not who we thought they were, and now we're looking at
they're
Trey
not
Lance.
who we thought they were.
We're looking at Trey Lance to maybe come in there and, hey, Garoppolo might be moving somewhere else. So right now he kept his job. He did what he had to do. It's the Lions. No one thinks they're going to do anything. They're just going to be probably the last team in that division. So he did what he had to. Go out, win the game. Doesn't matter by how much. Just go out and win it.
Yep. Timmy, I saved this game for you. The Steelers and the Bills. This is not at all anywhere near what we expected to happen. 23-16. Didn't think in any world that Buffalo can only put up 16 points against the Steelers. The Steelers, although they did not overwhelm, Ben had less than 200 yards. Harris had 43 yards rushing. They were still able to get the job done. Pittsburgh 5-1 in the last 6 road games in Buffalo. That's not an easy place to play. We talked about it. Even when they're not good, that's not an easy place to play because of the college shenanigan type atmosphere. So, Timmy, I know your household is divided. Got same colors at least, Bills and New York Football Giants. But what was your take on that? What the hell happened in Buffalo, and can they rebound? We're doing overreaction theater.
It's not divided. I'm outnumbered. That's the worst part. I'm outnumbered.
Jax looked pretty damn cool with that face paint on. I gotta tell you,
face paint and a cowboy hat, right? This was a shock. It was a shock to me. Not that the Steelers won, how they won. Because remember last year, they didn't beat a good team. And then when they finally played a good team, they got their asses whooped. That's what I thought going into this year. That's exactly what they were going to be.
We almost had them week 1, the Giants.
Yeah. The Bills didn't look comfortable, in my opinion. And again, you got to get that running game going. You cannot rely on Josh Allen to throw 50, 60 passes a game. And I even told my wife this, he's going to get killed because he runs the ball so much.
Yep.
You can't. I don't care how big he is. I don't care how strong he is. I don't care how fast he is. You can't have him running the ball as much as he does. He's going to get hurt. Someone's going to hit him and someone's going to hurt him. And then you know what happens? Goodbye. And then you got Mitchell Trubisky coming in.
Oh my God! Imagine that.
And there goes that season ticket sale.
That's it.
They'll put him on the table.
What happens there? Do fans like storm the stadium at that point? This guy gets hurt, and then you bring in Trubisky, who has thrown 6 touchdowns in a game before. But for season ticket holders, do you go? And there are fans this year in baseball that are going to complain about the 7-inning games. They're losing 22% of their value. So
Trubisky has proven that he can get teams to the playoffs.
He can throw 6 touchdowns in a game. Him and Al Bundy.
He could also throw 5 interceptions if he really wanted to. But they just they looked a little, I want to say, unprepared in a way. Maybe overconfidence. I don't know. But
that might have been it.
They have to establish a running game. If they do not establish a running game, teams are just going to focus on Josh Allen. They're going to focus on Stephon Diggs. They're going to focus on Emmanuel Sanders. Like you said before, when Boss Man Fat said Beasley, that's where Beasley comes in. You focus on the 2 outside guys. You got Cole Beasley coming across the middle. But what happens after Josh Allen throws him 10 times in a row? They're going to take him out of the game. Got to establish a running game.
And he's going to get killed coming across the middle.
Yeah, they got Singletary. They got Moss. So I think are decent running backs. They're not Thurman Thomas, obviously.
Yeah.
Establish a running game. Get the pressure off Josh Allen's back and his arm. And I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, because if you don't establish the running game, then Josh Allen is it on every single play. He's the guy running the ball or passing the ball,
Yeah.
and they really shut down Diggs. I think he had 60 yards or so, and not much else. But they shut him down, and if you shut down Diggs, I mean this is what could happen. So 100% right. You got to get the ground game going. Here's one that I told you last week, Timmy. I don't understand how so many people are picking the Falcons to make the playoffs. They kind of look like shit. I'm putting it nicely. Jalen Hurts, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns, 62 rushing yards. Now, again, overreaction theater. Are the Eagles that good? Are the Falcons that bad? I do know that I received a Jalen Hurts and Gronk for DeAndre Hopkins trade today in fantasy and declined it with the swiftness. Get out of here. Like,
not even a counter?
No, that kind of an offer doesn't even deserve a counter. Like, don't come to me. Here's one of my pet peeves in fantasy. Do not come to me after week 1 with this guy who went off for 210 yards and trying to bring him over to my team for a star. That ain't happening. I don't. How many times have we seen, this guy exploded out of the gate, and then the next 6 games he scores 3 fantasy points? Get out of here with that nonsense. Don't even deserve a counter. Bert, sorry to wake you up there. What did the Eagles do so well, or the Falcons do so bad? Is it one or the other, or somewhere in between? What do you think?
I think it was both. I think the Falcons.
That's a lot.
I don't think anyone expected them to do anything, at least this year. And I think the Eagles, they had at least with their fans, they had promise, because they had a pretty decent second half of the season last year. But like I said, I mean, Jalen Hurts just went off. I mean, they were on the road. You know what I'm saying? They were confident. They probably were thinking, no one's expecting us to do anything this year, so let's go out and just execute and do what we can do, and they did.
I want to know where this Hurts was last year, last game of the season.
Listen, no matter what the Falcons are going to do, it's going to be on offense anyway. Their defense ain't shit. So again, like Bert said, it's part Eagles is part Falcons. I don't think the Eagles are that good. I don't think the Falcons are that bad. I think it's just one of those games.
The Falcons are going to be pretty bad, but
it feels that way. But you just don't know. Like Kyle Pitts. Of course, they're gonna focus their attention on him. They could do that right off the bat. He's a freak of nature out there. He's a speedster tight end. But again, if your line isn't giving you support, and Matt Ryan is, sometimes he looks good, sometimes he looks horrible. There's no great anymore, I don't think. But when you can focus on
the days of Matty Ice are over, my friends.
Screw Matty Ice. Get out of here with that. The one time I root for you, and you screw me in the Super Bowl. All right, let's continue on. Dave, you got to talk about this one. The Browns hanging in tight against the Chiefs. Great game. The Browns, and again, this is not indicative of this year's Browns or last year's Browns or Browns going forward, but the Browns since 1999 won 21-1 in season openers. So what you didn't have Odell, but you had the ridiculous running attack. You had Baker. This is the second time in a row that they played this team very well. When can they get over that hump, Dave? When does that yeast rise above? When does it happen?
What happened was, right now they turned it down. Right now it's at 325. They didn't put it at 350 to bake. So that's what happened. They came up a little short. The yeast didn't get fully up to, right at the level of the plate. So, they just blew this game. I feel like, man, that the punter basically cost you the game at the end. Like, right at the end, that's such a key play that happened. The punt gets blocked, bam, set him up right there. You can't really do anything with Kelsey. He's going to do what he wants on that field. And then they just couldn't get it done. So I think, you asked, when are they finally going to get over this hump? It's going to happen in the playoffs. I feel like they're going to meet one more time. And this is the time finally where, they lost the last 2. What's going to happen? And Baker. They're gonna have hopefully Odell back. They'll have the passing attack, the running attack, and hopefully everyone full throttle. And they'll be able to get
Odell
over
going to be able to make a difference, though?
I feel like, yeah. I mean, he's out there. If he's out there, don't shake your head, Tim. If he's out there, he makes a difference. He brings people. He brings coverage. He's gonna give you Jarvis Landry open there. He's gonna let you get your Austin Hoopers and your Njoku's open out there. If you need Kareem Hunt to run a little hook, bam, you could hit him right there because Odell's gonna have someone there with him. Right now, they have Peoples. He's not having two guys go on him, or you can really kind of like cheat off of him a little bit. With Odell out there, I feel like you can't cheat because at any moment you just throw the ball out there to him and he's gonna take off.
He can still make a play. This is not like
Dave. I'm not shaking my head because of his skills. I'm shaking my head because he's fragile. We all know he's fragile. We all know he can't get on there. He can't stay on the field. And when you're fragile, you might as well just not even be playing. It doesn't make a difference. That's my move.
Here's what Raul has to say about the Bills. The Bills will move to Austin, Texas. If Josh Allen goes down for the season, the Bills have to get the running game so that Josh Allen can flourish, and the Bills get on a winning track to get to the Super Bowl. Do not tell your wife that Raul said that.
That will never happen.
Well, I guess the Tabalas are moving to Texas.
Never. That city will never allow that team to leave.
Where'd Timmy go? He's in Austin.
Listen, they banned Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi threatened to move them. Now you're not allowed to listen to Bon Jovi in that city anymore. Forget about it.
Nuts. He did. All right. So that's that. All right. And then here's a big one. This is all you, Bert. Packers put up a grand total of 3 points against the Saints. Didn't see this happening in the least. Jameis Winston ties his career high with 5 touchdowns. And no joy in Rogersville these days. Bert, what do you think? First, tell everybody why you're so pissed off at Aaron Rodgers.
So I'm gonna put it on here. So
it's like everybody else is smiling.
Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if you can see it right there.
How many points?
1.38 points. 1.32
rough.
And I understand. The Saints. I feel like a lot of people underestimated the Saints. I feel like more particularly they underestimated Winston, because I feel like the Saints, Winston is going to be very good this year. A lot of weapons, very, very good defense. So I definitely think that they're a team that's to look out for. But no excuse. Aaron, you have to do better than that. Like, I understand, you've been having issues and crying about, organization not supporting you, but look, you got to show up. You have to. You have Devontae Adams.
Bert calling Rodgers out for crying. Wow.
Okay, look, I was watching it. I was watching a couple days ago. Colin Cowherd made a comparison between Russell Westbrook and Aaron Rodgers. Russell Wilson. Oh, it's not Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson. Excuse me. Okay. Russell Wilson in the offseason, there was rumors that he wanted to get traded. That he needed help, and the Seahawks, they signed a couple of guys. They re-signed some people, extended some contracts, and he said, okay, you know what? It may not have been what I wanted, but at least they did something. So I'm going to go ahead, and he had his best offseason in years. Called everybody on the team. That's it, and the performance proved it in week 1. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers was crying the whole season. Oh, I want to leave the organization of support, comes out week 1 and throws a dud. Like, I'm not saying I don't want to disrespect him and say that he did it intentionally, because I feel like if you're a professional, you have a standard to yourself. I know he said he doesn't need football, blah 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 blah, but you got to show up, man. Sorry.
So Timmy, do you think
that's not even me being that's a lot of it, from him being my starter in fantasy, but also too, like, as a fan, like, come on,
quarterback.
It's my quarterback.
But so Tim, you get Bert's perspective there, and you're thinking, did he do it on purpose or not? And then Kyle has, we talked about this last week. Kyle has a different train of thought where he feels that Rodgers is going to be pumped up, angry, win a Super Bowl, and then just leave Green Bay. I'm a little upset this week because I face, in a different league other than our main league, I play very angry Aaron Rodgers, who's going against a lower level team that we'll talk about as we get to the picks for week 2. But I'm standing right in the way of that freight train. And so, Timmy, do you think that Rodgers, first of all, do you think he would do something like this on purpose? And how many times in the past has he just simply said, relax, and just keep it moving? And then they look at that division. The Bears, they all suck.
Everyone's 0-1. There's nothing to worry about.
At least the NFC East has a victory. At least 1-3, but so Timmy, what do you think about Rodgers? That game, and how do you foresee him playing as we move forward?
I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy. I always have been. I hope he didn't throw that game. I mean, but he didn't just look like shit. The whole team looked like shit. He doesn't play defense. Don't forget.
Exactly.
He doesn't play defense.
He didn't make Jameis Winston look like an animal.
Yeah, he didn't make Jameis Winston throw 5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns.
Listen, he can throw 5 touchdowns this week, throw 5 interceptions next week. Yeah. I'm not sold on Winston yet.
He's a 30-30 guy.
Not yet. I know Bert's in there. They got the gun to his head in the cave. Tell him to praise Jameis Winston, but I still don't believe in Jameis Winston yet. Just like I'm not giving up on Aaron Rodgers either. No, I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to be fine. I don't think he did it on purpose. I was with Kyle last week. I picked very angry Aaron Rodgers to take this team far. I hope very angry Rodgers isn't now very crybaby Rodgers, because that would be one hell of a way to end a career. Because who's going to? I'm thinking somebody will take him next year.
It's Aaron Rodgers.
It doesn't matter. Crybaby or not, someone will pick him up next year. But no, I don't think he did it on purpose. I think he'll be fine this week. We'll see.
Might be a Giant next year. I don't know.
Minimum 4 touchdowns this week. Minimum.
Don't say stuff like that.
Minimum.
Oh man! And the guy I'm playing has not just Aaron Rodgers, but he also has I want to say Jones also, Aaron Jones.
Never lost.
It's gonna be a rough. Bert. It's so the person I'm speaking about is Mike Peterson, and his team put up 48 points because. When you have Aaron Rodgers and Jones, and they don't do shit, 48 points total. Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm embarrassing anybody out there, but it's what happens. Wow. All right, Timmy, this one's on the 3 of us.
Oh, no,
Bert, I don't want you chiming in on this at all. Okay, just
hold on.
Go make sure the perimeter is secured.
Bert, eat your bread and water that your cat just gave you.
Yeah. They're giving whiskey.
Build the Iron Man suit in that cave. Don't worry about it.
All right. So let's do this. Broncos and Giants. We'll dig deeper into this tomorrow. During the Giants game, but the Broncos just handled the Giants 27-13. We've talked about this is Daniel Jones's year to prove, disprove, do something. It's like that stick, poke the thing, wake up, do something.
Do something.
But 27-13. Tim, we'll cover this, like I said, much more detail. But Mello, I feel like just your body language, and you are very close, if not already, totally done with Daniel Jones.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I get
it. Wait, absolutely. Are you close, or that's it?
Oh, I'm close. After last season, I said, first thing I said after last season, after how poorly he was doing in the middle of the season, was that, okay, we're not doing squat this season. Our O-line is not good. Our defense is just picking up a little, but we have no weapons. Next season, that's it. There's no more excuses for Daniel Jones. You have to hold him accountable for this. It's 3 years. He's got to do something and stop making the same mistakes. And again, he makes a costly mistake where he just runs it, doesn't slide, and fumbles the ball. And it's like, why? How many games have you played that you're doing the same freaking thing and showing that it doesn't work? Like, do something else. You have to show some progress, and in that aspect, he's not. He's still making costly turnovers, and that's frustrating.
Yeah, that play in itself could have been a 10-point swing. You're driving. You can't assume a touchdown, but I will for this conversation. It's a 10-point swing. They kicked the field goal. I believe they kicked the field goal after that, and so if you think about it, then it's 24-20, maybe, if everything goes the right way. But at that point, you give yourself a shot. But turning the ball over, it's just like it's rough, man. And for it to continue to happen, it's frustrating. But you also have to say the line is still frustrating. So you want to hold Daniel Jones accountable for everything that he does, and I'm not saying that fumble was the fault of the line, because once you get past the line, you got to protect the ball, But certainly he's not given the time that he needs to be able to do something. Saquon got shut down. It's first game back. The Broncos have an incredible defense, so I'm not worried about that kind of stuff. I think the Broncos could easily be a playoff team if they get any offense at all. But Daniel Jones has this year, I think, and then we pull that trigger on that Rodgers trade, right?
Rodgers, I mean, why not light up a little fire under Daniel Jones? And there's a quarterback out there.
Just spread rumors. Just do that.
There's a quarterback out there that they can sign and just have him sit there. And hey, Daniel Jones, you want to continue to play like shit? Cam Newton, why don't you hop on over here and be quarterback? Daniel Jones, go take a seat over there at the end. Why not? Why not light a fire under him? I feel like that's what he needs.
If I sign Cam Newton, I will kill myself.
Who said Dave? You said Cam Newton?
You said Cam Newton.
I said Cam Newton. He's out there. Cam still can play quarterback.
Let him stay out there. He is no better than Daniel Jones right now.
I'd rather have him on our team than facing him against the Redskins.
That's where he's going to go. He's going to go to the Redskins, by the way.
I'm sorry, the football team.
He'll be reunited with Ron Rivera.
All right.
I'm going to save my screaming for tomorrow.
I know.
And I'll stay more professional today. I'll stay very professional today. Like I said, all the other stuff I will. Daniel Jones, he made a lot of mistakes. He did. Some of them were the line's fault. Again, some of them were not. He threw a lot of passes that you saw. Shepard made 2 passes that were thrown behind him. He made the catch.
That one was really rough, way behind.
And Slayton, who, by the way, I think his time is done. While Shepard was making the catches on the missed thrown, he dropped everything.
Yeah.
In his hands, behind him, and top of him, in front of him. So that pissed me off. Listen, they outplayed us again. As I said, tomorrow I'll get into the screaming part. But the offensive line is a patchwork piece of shit. That's how I'm going to leave it. And they're not going to go anywhere. And I said, you can blame Daniel Jones. You can blame whoever you want. If you don't have the time to throw the ball, you can't throw the goddamn ball. That's all I'm going to say. But Daniel Jones made a lot of mistakes. Like I said, he threw a lot of passes where he had time and just threw behind the receiver, over receiver, under receiver. You got to stop that crap. But he might have the Eli PSC from the last 2 years. Who knows? He might be scared. He senses some guy behind him, but there's nobody there. That's how he might be.
Nobody's there.
Yeah. So, but
he's going to be like Carson Wentz saying, "I see ghosts out there."
Yeah.
Was it Wentz? Who was that? Was that Wentz?
Yeah, it was Wentz.
Who was that?
It was Wentz, wasn't it?
So
I'll save the rest for tomorrow. That's when I yell.
Yes. Greg, won't butcher your last name. I'm sorry. Looks like a Phoenix Suns fan here. He's saying pick 2 to start in a PPR league. You got Gaskin, who's going against
the Bills.
The Bills. You got Mitchell going against the Eagles on the road. And then Henderson, you got the Rams going to Indianapolis.
I would do Henderson.
Well, he's saying it's 2, so
yeah, you need 2 out of 3.
Gaskin for sure.
Gaskin and Henderson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not that Bills defense. No, I wouldn't start him at all. I don't know who knows the Dolphins. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The Dolphins are at home against the Bills. So that's Gaskin. Mitchell is against at Philadelphia, and Henderson at the Colts.
And it's PPR, so it's catching. So yeah, I think Gaskin is good. So even though they're playing by a running back by committee down here, so
yeah, but I think Gaskin will get the bulk of it, and he'll get the passing.
Yeah,
it's tough against the Bills' defense, but The thing with Mitchell is this is that overreaction potential. He's that guy that people will, they'll pick up on waivers, which he was probably the most picked up guy on waivers, but they'll pick him up and then try to trade him for a star because of that one game and what could happen moving forward. I'm not saying that he's not going to be good. For me, it's Gaskin and it's Mitchell, because Stafford just throws and throws and throws, and he's got the receivers out there against that Colts defense that kind of got screwed around with on Sunday. So I'd go Gaskin and Mitchell this week.
I'll go with that. I'll go with it.
But don't blame us if we're wrong.
Well, yep, exactly.
That's our standard thing there.
That should be the ticker at the bottom. Don't blame us.
Don't blame us. All right, a few more games, and then we'll kind of switch gears to this week. And just a reminder, right after us, live from Afghanistan, Granny's Peach Tea. He'll be on there with the fellas. What are you guys talking about today?
Well, I actually have to check because I don't think they're going on tonight. I think Ed messaged me earlier. Yeah.
All right. Well, programming notes. All right. Next game up, Dolphins go into Gillette, and they beat the new savior, Mac Jones, and the Patriots 17-16. Look, this game could have gone either way. Waddle, second player in Miami history with 60-plus receiving yards and a touchdown in the first game. I wonder who that other guy might have been. We'll look that up later.
He was on my bench.
But it's the right move to make.
Your bench did amazing this week.
My bench dominated this week. Both my benches.
Domination.
All right, Dave, you want to get into that one? I don't know if you were able to see that one. There was a fumble. There was a running back that never saw the grass again. And
I didn't really watch the game. I was too busy watching Aaron Rodgers getting dominated, and then the New York Giants, doing the New York Giants. So I didn't watch too much of the game, but I did. I don't want to say it's a quality win, but it's a quality loss for the Patriots, I feel like. Mac Jones didn't look absolutely awful out there. I feel like he made the right place when he had to.
He looked good.
And it's the Dolphins' defense. That defense is still good. They're still stacked with their corners. Yeah. They have great corners. So, to me, it was more the Patriots getting a quality loss and Mac Jones not looking absolutely awful.
Yep. Real quick, Terry Bradshaw called Mac Jones the most NFL-ready quarterback out of all the rookies last year. I was kind of shocked at that. He said Mac Jones is going to be the best. I don't know. Okay, Terry.
So far, he looks better than your boy
Trevor
down
Lawrence.
in Jacksonville.
Yeah, he looked better than Trevor Lawrence. He did.
Yep.
Well, Bill Simmons is this guy's the new savior. This is another. This is going to be another dynasty for the Patriots. The Patriots. He was like, man, no, the Patriots are good. The Patriots should have won that game.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, exactly. And Cousin Sal is like, really? Yeah, okay, all right.
They're suffering for so much more. Their receiving core is trash.
Yeah.
Aguilar was good.
Well, you got Aguilar and
Aguilar's your
Myers.
number one.
If Myers ever freaking develops into anything, But Belichick, the drafting that he's done over the years, and it's never been. Put it nicely, he's not the best at the NFL draft. He's got the dog sitting in the chair making the picks. So, Timmy, the son,
he trades his, somehow he magically fools people. Look, I'll give you a 6 and a 7 for your number one receiver. Done. Somehow he makes that happen. We don't know what.
And he did that to the 49ers.
He has magic. He has magic powers. It's the dog.
It is, and they did it to the 49ers where they moved up to get Trey Lance, and they did it because they were petrified that the Patriots would move up somehow and get him. And meanwhile, they could have stayed at the position that they had, still gotten their quarterback, and gone along the merry business. But that's what the Patriots do. The Sunday night game was the awful, just terrible Chicago Bears.
The Bears
Heading to play my Super Bowl champion pick, the Los Angeles Rams.
Wow.
Listen, they got a quarterback now. Stafford, the 1 year that they had a good defense in Detroit, he was 11-5. They got a good defense. They got weapons all over the place, and Stafford's like, look at all these toys I got now. I was in Detroit, nothing going on. Look at all these shiny toys. I have
space to throw the ball now. This must be nice.
I think it's dangerous. I told you last week, Timmy. I think the Stafford trade is going to wind up being the trade of the offseason, the move of the offseason, and that's going to get them their championship out there in Los Angeles.
I was talking about it earlier, but I think they added one. There's one more playoff spot this year, right? There's 3 wild card slots now.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, 7 from each league.
I think
conference.
I think the NFC West can have all 4 teams make the playoffs this year.
That was my pick. I got all 4 of those teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, especially when they battle each other, that might played.
Yeah, that's why. And the Cardinals are the ones that a lot of people are leaving off. And they went and then did their thing. The Rams are 5-0 in Week 1 under Mr. McVay, and then the Monday night game where just a ton of people lost fantasy games and money. I lost both.
Not me.
In one league,
Not
I was
me,
in
baby.
in the league where I just did an auction draft for the first time in my life. I had the Ravens on defense. You get 15 points for your defense, and it's the worst with defense because you get the full 15 points, and then you just start seeing it eat away and down. Now it's at 12 points, 11 points, 10 points, and then at the very end, I was up by 2 points, and they give up that last field goal to get to 27, and that took me under, and I wound up losing by 4 points because, of course, the Raiders scored again, and the line on this game was 3.5. I went with the Raiders. I went with the Ravens. 3.5. I said, great. Overtime is the best thing to happen because then the Ravens can score a touchdown and win by 6. And then I cover. None of that shit happened. None of it happened. Why the hell did it happen? Screw you, Gruden. What were your thoughts on that Monday night game, Timmy? The Raiders just, finally fans are in the beautiful stadium that they have out there in Los Angeles. And they just dropped 33 points on the Ravens. I know that they have their injuries, running back and on defense, but still, they dropped 33 points on the Ravens. What do you think, man? Are the Raiders for real?
No. But I was telling
no.
But I was telling Bert last night that I shut the game off when the Ravens got on the on 2-yard line. I'm like, this game is done. Score a touchdown, it's over. And then it texted in the chat, Lamar Jackson fumble. I'm like, why does Lamar Jackson have the ball? What the hell happened? So I went back to the thing, I rewound it, and I'm like, son of a bitch. And that's when I ended up watching one of the most ridiculous Benny Hill, Three Stooges type of movie I've ever seen in my life.
Unbelievable.
That should have been the whole music for the highlight. Yeah, and the winning touchdown was basically a floater, just a floater. A little floater that you just chuck like when you're at an amusement park. You're trying to get that rabbit for your girlfriend or whatever. Just a little chuck, touchdown. Are the Raiders for real? No, I'm not buying into it yet, only because I don't like Derek Carr. I think he's done. That's just me personally. But then again, the Ravens look real shitty. Real shitty.
They did.
I not gonna good. I'll say it right now. I don't care. Come at me, bro. I'm not a Lamar Jackson guy either. Don't get me wrong. He's good for 400 yards and 5, but he's also a fumbler. I think he makes a lot of stupid mistakes a lot of times. I'm not a Lamar Jackson guy either. But are the Raiders for real? Ask me week 5. I'll tell you.
No overreaction theater. Dave and Bert both picked the Raiders.
Darren Waller, baby.
By the way,
what do you have? 31 points?
31 points.
The Ravens defense, I don't understand what Harbaugh was doing. All Derek Carr was doing the entire game was targeting Waller. It was just like, okay, where's Waller? Okay, right there.
They were even saying on the broadcast, Peyton and Eli, they were, well, get it to Waller, get it to Waller, get it to Waller.
That's all. That was the game plan.
You gotta get it to Waller. Get it to Waller. Get it to Waller.
it made no sense why they weren't just like, hey, why don't we double Waller and let these other rookies beat us? Like, it just made zero sense to me.
Yeah.
He had, I think, 19 targets. Like,
yeah.
It was like
ridiculous.
Travis Kelce all of a sudden. Exactly what it looked like.
But I mean,
insane.
Well, Waller's a monster though. But he's going to get his yards regardless.
He is, but that's the guy who you make sure to shut down. You know
Exactly.
there's always that guy on the opposing team's offense that say this guy cannot beat us. If we can shut this guy down, we have all the chance in the world. And it was Waller, and you didn't shut him down at all. Nothing. How do you let a guy 19 targets? 19. Well, Raul said he was the only one that picked the Raiders last week. You were, because these two guys at the bottom were not here last week. All right, let's turn our attention real quick to our fantasy league. And while you guys out there might not care about our fantasy league, we'll talk about some of the players involved here too. So we'll start from the bottom up. And so this was the game. Bert, this is Bert right here
You want
against Third and Schlong. Are you
Sorry,
having trouble
Ed.
seeing? Why is it not zooming? Well, let's get it in like this.
That's what
Here we
she
go.
said.
Yeah. All right, so Bert, you won by just over a point. You got Pat Mahomes putting up 52 points. You got Barkley putting up 3. Yeah, it could have been a much easier game, but Zeke only put up 5.9. So this was a very early in the season. Guys are going to be evenly matched. It's later in the year where you kind of win your fantasy leagues and whatnot. But Kareem Hunt performed. He got over 10 points. Woods and Julio Jones, even though you got upset with him, he still put up 14.5 in a PPR league. Waller.
Monster.
Oh, that's projected. He put up 5.9. I'm sorry. That's projected.
Yeah,
that's projected. I
projected.
apologize. There's a third. I knew it here because I was like, Waller didn't put up 15.
Waller had double his projection.
Yeah, so Bert, you go 1-0, man. This time you're on the opposite end of the Saquon stuff. I reminded all the fans out there last week that the first year that we played fantasy, I had Saquon and you were talking all this shit until he broke off.
I was.
You remember that?
I was.
I was in Orlando. I was like, this motherfucker here is talking all this shit. I need Saquon. Just bust one, man. And then he finally did, like in the third quarter, and it was like, all right. Yeast Rising. Yeast Rising also gets a victory against F the Commish.
First off, I want to air some grievances here.
Ooh.
I was forced to draft in the middle of Hollywood Studios.
First of all,
in the middle of the Tower of Terror, getting lunch and writing the what is it?
Fire up the excuse machine.
Unbelievable! I'm here. I'm doing it on my phone. So because the commissioner's like, oh, just do it on your phone. You'll figure it out. And I'm here like, okay,
we've all done it on our phones.
I literally did it on my phone.
It's so horrible because I'm like, okay, who just got picked? I just had someone lined up, and it's just I'm going back and forth, using up my data.
So wait a second. First of all, that's get unlimited data. It's 2021. Second of all, you won. What are you doing? Who did?
I just had to air out that grievance.
That's fine. Well, I mean, Melvin Gordon put up 33 on your bench, but thankfully you had 117 points on your bench, bro.
Yeah.
First of all, you look at this. You had 117.36 on your bench, and your opponent had 117.5 total.
So I was working on Sunday, and I had just gotten back. Well, I still hadn't been okay from the lack of sleep I got from going to Tampa. So I actually fell asleep at work, and I wake up and it's 1:15.
Dave fell asleep and missed an alarm. That's a shock.
Yeah, it was 1:15, and I'm like, holy crap! I looked at the game. I was like, shoot, I'm just stuck now. If I win, I win. If not, then hey.
But I mean, would you have really started Melvin Gordon over Carson or Kamara? I mean, it's like those decisions, like with the roster constructed the way that you have it with Kamara
maybe Corey Davis though at the flex.
Yeah, but Corey Davis then put up 26 points. I mean,
I know, but I'm just saying he might have been the one that I would have taken
oh,
out.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but he might have been the only Jet worth playing.
Pretty much.
All right, let's talk now. Now we'll talk about a guy who's not here right now, and this is the Aaron Rodgers guy in our league, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kyle. Kyle put up 1.32 points, with Rodgers, and then look, he had the same combination as the team that I'm facing this coming week. That's going to be angry. Yeah. So this wasn't even close. The Crushers crushed the Stugatz army, and then. Timmy, listen, you went against the highest scoring team in Brian Hom Sucks, who I just beat in fantasy baseball, and he got all upset about life and stuff.
Yeah, because you beat him the last day. Like it was, you were behind.
I was right, and so going into that night game, Mets and Yankees, it was I had Lindor, I was down by 10. He had DJ LeMahieu and Jonathan VR. And that's the game Lindor finally decided to wake up and hit 3 home runs. So that worked out for me. So Timmy, you ran into a buzzsaw and some bad luck this week, but I mean your team is really damn good. You would have beaten every other team except for the team that you faced and me.
Yeah,
that's rough luck, man.
That's my luck. It's all right. It's all right. I'm looking for the rebound. It's all right.
I mean, you literally put Tom had 43, McCaffrey 27, Mixon 30, Godwin almost 30, and still took the loss. How the hell you can expect the Bucks to go with a -3 is beyond me. So that's kind of where it happened. And then my matchup against Rodriguez from the Put in the Book show, I took care of business, man. I did it. Austin Eckler put up 11 points.
Screw that auto drafter.
Auto pick.
Stole three guys from me in the auto draft. You son of a bitch.
Who are the guys?
I hope he goes 0 whatever because he stole my guys.
Who are the guys?
Amari, I forget who it was. Amari Cooper was one.
Yeah, I hate auto drafters too.
I don't forget, but he was every time because he drafted in front of me. I'm like, oh, this guy's coming. Auto draft. Thank you.
Wow.
I'm just thankful that
Stafford on the bench.
Yeah.
Over her.
But who would you start? Stafford against
Stafford.
Would you have?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're both. Jeez, that's a tough call to make.
I think Washington's defense is a little bit tougher than Chicago's.
Yeah. Terzio says Mets baseball equals Jets football. That is
that's a good comparison there.
That is it. All right, let's get it into week 2 here. And again, all you guys out there, if you have fantasy questions, shoot them over to us. If you have any of that good stuff, and if you have a fantastic name that you can suggest to this currently nameless show, that would be much appreciated. Also,
what are the ones that we have so far?
I threw a bunch out today.
Timmy threw out 800 of them.
I did my homework today.
But there was 3 that you liked, so I feel like we should narrow it down to those 3. No, since we, I'm good with those 3 too.
Yeah. So the 3 that we've kind of narrowed it down unless you got something that'll blow our socks off here. I think Pigskin Pros, Pop Culture Pros, Pigskin Pros. The Check Down, I do like that. And unsportsmanlike conduct, I do like that as well.
I like unsportsmanlike conduct too.
Pigskin Pros, the Check Down, and unsportsmanlike conduct are the 3 camp leaders. But again, if you guys can come up with something better, let us know as we get into the picks here.
Should we put up for a vote on the page?
We'll do a poll. Yes.
I like it.
And then hopefully next week we'll have a name.
We'll have a name, and then in the near future we'll have a logo. Life is good here. All right, so let's start out week 2. The Giants at the Washington football team. I wrote down skins here. I did, Timmy. I'm with you on that. We are the best pros in the business. Whether you're watching a Mets show, a wrestling show, a football show, or a Yankee show, this is where the pros live. Is that a new slogan?
Yep.
I like it.
I'm gonna put it on a T-shirt.
Boo! Pop Culture Pros, where the pros live. What?
I like it.
All right. Trivia question: Where was $1 million made on Pop Culture Pros? Right here on this unnamed show.
Yep.
The Skins are a 3-point favorite going into this game. We'll go round robin here. We'll start with you, Bert. Bert, who you got in this one? Giants, Skins. I don't care. Skins are a 3-point favorite.
I picked the Skins.
Son of a bitch. All right, Tim.
I'm picking the Redskins.
I skipped you, Mello.
I'm picking the Redskins.
So you're picking a team that doesn't exist anymore?
Probably still. You know?
They still beat the Giants.
Oh, sorry, the team from Washington.
The team from Washington.
Look, Washington football team sounds like someone who can't speak English. Like trying to explain what they're watching. I am watching Washington football team.
Yes.
So stupid. It's so dumb.
All right, but
I am watching Washington football team.
Yeah, I love the Washington football team. It's like Bert in his case.
It's like
I love Washington football team. Yeah.
So now we have it. Did you like any of the suggested names then?
Yeah, I listen, and I told Farachi this too. I said this years ago. They should be called the Red Hogs because the Hogs were their big thing. A lot of their fans call them the Hogs. My uncle, rest in peace, he always called. He never called them the Redskins. He called them the Hogs 24/7. I said Red Hogs, so I'm going with Red Hogs. I like that name.
Well, what about Keith's suggestion? You know what Keith calls them, right?
What, the douchebags or something like that? You got to call them something like that.
The foreskins?
Exactly, the foreskins. Exactly. You've heard it before, I'm sure.
as long as it's not the presidents or the
presidents
senators
or the representatives.
Or the representatives.
Don't do that because they're smart enough to do that, right? They're smart enough not to go any political
Washington
way.
Football team. Come on now.
Oh boy. I don't know, Terzio. But can you find out and report back to me, please? Mello, who you got in this one?
Team right above me. Well, right over my my right shoulder. New York Giants. I'm not picking against them. Not this game anyway. Even though this year I said I'm going to pick smarter. I'm not going to pick with my heart. And I made sure I did that week 1 because normally I pick against the Dolphins. And week 1 I did not.
The New York Football Giants have won the last 4 games against Washington football team. Danny Dimes against the Washington football team. 4-0 with zero fumbles lost against Washington. And I think he's like 4-19 or some weird number with 18 lost fumbles against everybody else. But he owns the Washington football team, and that is why we're winning this week. I'm sorry. This is the NFL show. That's why the Giants are winning this week. Tomorrow it's going to be that's why we're winning this week. All right, let's continue on. New England heads to Giant Stadium. I'm going to piss some people off there. To play the Jets. New England has won 10 straight games against the Jets. Does anything change this time around? I say no. I say the Patriots go in there and win. The Patriots are a 6-point favorite in this one. Timmy, we'll start with you on this one. We'll go the opposite way.
Patriots. Easily Patriots.
I want the Patriots to go 0-2 so I can hear a Bill Simmons podcast where the Patriots are 0-2. That's what I want. Because he is the biggest homer. Huge, massive homer. Mello, who you got in this one?
Same thing, going New England.
Bert!
Pats.
Bert says go Fins. Pats get the victory there. Next up, the Broncos head down to Jacksonville to play the Jags. Jags have lost 16. Jags have lost 16 straight games. Longest losing streak since the Yeast of 16-17. This is an easy one for me. I don't see this guy being able to crack the code against the Broncos. So this one's an easy one for me with the Broncos. They are a 6-point favorite heading into Jacksonville. Bert, who you got? Sorry, we'll go to Mello, shoving a cracker in your mouth. Mello, who you got here?
Broncos.
It's got to be the Broncos. This will be one of the bigger upsets of the early season if it doesn't go the Broncos' way. Timmy, Broncos?
Absolutely.
Bert?
Broncos.
Broncos for the win here. Next up, down here in Miami, or down there in Miami, I'm Broward. The Bills, the 0-1 Bills.
Closer to you.
You're close to the stadium.
Yeah.
You're like 20 minutes away.
Yeah. 20 minutes away. Sawgrass Mall is not near 20 minutes away from the
You're closer than at least I am.
Yeah.
It's crossing the border, man. I need my passport to get down there.
I'm like 10 minutes away.
Look at that. Of course you are. See, you're close, easy, man. Go Fins. The Bills are 0-1 against the Dolphins, 1-0. Buffalo's won 5 straight games against Miami, and they've scored 30 points or more in each of those games. And in this week's matchup, the Bills are a 3.5-point favorite against the Dolphins. Go Fins. Who you got?
Fins.
Oof. You foresee the Bills going 0-2? Which is possible. I'm not saying that you're out of your mind.
Look, the Bills are on the road. Playing down in Miami in early September is very hot.
Weather. Hot.
Very hot. And also, too, the Dolphins are out for blood since last year we got embarrassed by the Bills in the last game of the season. So I feel like the Dolphins are going to be pumped to go against the Bills, as they always are, because all division games are always close, especially because of that. So I think definitely the Bills. I'm not saying I'm definitely the Dolphins. Definitely not saying it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be a close game, but I think the Fins are going to pull it out.
To a time.
To a time.
92 degrees at game time. Just imagine being out there with all the pads on, this close to each other, 92 degrees with the humidity. That's rough. That's 110 degrees on the field. That's oxygen.
Don't even like being out there as a fan.
Yeah, it's all well. It's better now with the roof. But did you ever go to any of the Pro Player Stadium games with the Marlins on a Saturday afternoon?
My God, the sitting in the outfield for a Marlins game was the worst. You'd be dying. You'd be dehydrated.
There was one game, Mets and Marlins back in the Pro Player Stadium, and I was covered up except for the tips of my knees up against the chair. I got the worst sunburn on the tips of both of my knees. And it was just rough, man. So Mello, who you got in this one? Really?
Oh, no. That was the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills.
Okay, all right.
It's not to a time yet.
All right, that's fair. Timmy, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I don't see them going 0-2 because they can't. They can't go 0-2. Simple as that. I think they'll come out pumped up. I like the Bills.
And this is a bigger game than I mean, they're all big games in the NFL.
Plus that weather thing is not a factor yet.
Yeah,
they're playing in just as hot as weather. Not Miami hot, but they're still playing in hot weather right now. I mean, if it was December, that's when that weather starts. Like, oh my God, we got to go from 30 to 95 and sweat your balls off.
It would still be the same temperature. Still the same. I'm going to go with Buffalo also. And again, just as a reminder to you guys, we don't pick against the spread. I mentioned the spread, but we pick wins and losses here because we're not all degenerate gamblers. Next game up, the 49ers head into Philadelphia to play the Eagles. Philadelphia has scored 21 or more points in the last 11 games against San Francisco and that defense. Timmy, who you got in this one? The 49ers. Did I mention 49ers are a 3.5-point favorite? That seems to be a trend. 3.5.
I got Jimmy G and the Niners.
We have somebody being immature. Cock, balls, dildo in the chat. We appreciate you, man.
What? Listen, I'll take cum over cock and balls over dildo. By 7.
By 7.
By 7. Timmy, did you give your pick?
Niners. I like the Niners.
It's got to be. Screw those Eagles, man. Mello?
Also going the 49ers.
49ers. Let's see if we can go for the sweep here.
Nope.
Come on.
I got the Eagles.
What a loser.
What a loser.
What a loser. What are they doing to you back there?
Eagles torturing you.
Get some fresh air.
Are they playing like? Do they put you in that room when they just blast the loud music in there for hours? The light on, you can't sleep. That's why you're yawning.
Blink twice if you're being forced to pick the Eagles.
I mean, he keeps on looking over the monitors. Something's going on. Something weird's happening.
There. Brian Hom sucks is there right now telling him.
All right, Terzio has the Niners 27-20. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, next up, the Rams head to the Colts. Head to Indianapolis to play the Colts. Indy has not lost 2 in a row for quite a while, and so they're 0-1. I don't see them avoiding that fate this time around. I see the Rams winning, and the Rams are 3.5-point favorites.
That's it.
3 straight.
Everyone's a 3.5-point favorite.
Bert, who you got in this one?
I got the Rams.
Mello.
Rams.
Ramalama ding dong, baby. That's
Ramalama ding dong.
You know, that's always my Ramalama ding dongs.
Yes. It's the Rams and it's the Titans with you. There's something, something going on there.
The Rams are usually good. The Titans just screw me every chance.
Rams pull through for you.
Yeah.
Terzio 24-10. Raul says Rams as well. I think this is a Ram suite here, right, Mello?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. All right, next up, here we go. We tested out the battle of the undefeated. The Raiders head to Pittsburgh, to Heinz Field, to play the Steelers. I almost said Pirates. Here's an interesting stat here with these two teams. As good as the Steelers have been over the years, and as bad as the Raiders have been over the years, 6 of the last 8 matchups have been decided by 3 or less points. This has been a couple of teams here that do battle, and it's close here. So Timmy, would you dare? Do you dare go with the Raiders, who are going in as a 5.5-point underdog to the Steelers in Pittsburgh?
Steelers at home.
Gotta be. Mello?
5.5 points. That's huge. I actually like that stat. Thinking about that that stat you just gave, I wouldn't be surprised if it is under 3 or something like that, just because I feel like the Steelers' offense last week wasn't that impressive.
That means stay away from this game, bettors. Stay away from this game.
Absolutely, I would not. I'm going Steelers, but I wouldn't be surprised just because of how goofy the Raiders can be, and then the Steelers' offense maybe not showing up, and they're just hoping on the defense to win them the game.
Because the Raiders don't care. The Raiders, they go full force, and they'll throw into triple coverage because Gruden is just like, throw it up there, All right, Bert, who you got in this one?
Let me tell you something, man. I think the Raiders are going to pull this one out, man. You know what I'm saying, man?
You got the Raiders again?
Yeah, man.
Back to back to Timmy, 2 weeks in a row. He's going with the Raiders. Terzio has this going the opposite way as
Timmy,
far
what's
as
that? Is that pizza?
New York pizza, baby.
Son of a bitch. Sicilian pie, man. What?
No.
What did you say?
You gobbled your last move.
I think Pop Culture Pros got to start drug testing out there. All right, Terzio's got Pittsburgh up, winning 31-14. Next up, the Bengals in just not a good game here. Bengals and the Bears. Andy Dalton faces his former team for the first time. And let's see what the spread is here. The Bears are favored by 2. God, Timmy, who you got here?
How are they favored by 2? I don't understand that. I like the Bengals and their new weapons.
I think it's the at home. I think it's just.
It's got to be.
I think that's it.
I like the Bengals to get their win.
Mello, who you got here?
I got that Houday Nation, Bengals.
The Bengals to beat the Bears. Bert, who you got?
I got the Bengals to beat the Bears.
That's a sweep on this show of the Bengals. The Bengals are going to win this football game.
Joe Burrow, baby.
and thank you, Vegas, for doing that favor for me, and making the Bears the favorite. That just increases my winnings once the Bengals win. Next game up. Oh, the East. The East is at home. The 0-1 Yeast. Welcome in the undefeated Houston Texans. Cleveland has not lost back-to-back games with Stefanski. They're 5-0 following a loss under him. So they've not lost 2 in a row there. And let's do a guess the lines real quick. Really quick, round robin. What do you think the line is here? I will tell you, obviously, the Browns are favored. What do you think the spread is, Bert? It's in Cleveland.
I think 4.5 to the Browns.
4.5 of the Browns. Mello?
5.
Timmy?
I'm going to go Price is Right and go 6.
You go 6. Timmy would win this.
Woo! Price is Right.
Look, Terzio agreed with you. He went with 6 also. The Browns are a 12.5-point favorite.
Wow.
Against the undefeated Texans.
Stay away from that line. Holy shit.
Listen. These are, number one, if I decide to pass on something like this, that means it's going to be covered. The Browns are going to win 35-12. But these are the types of games, obviously, like Mello said, if you're betting, these are the games you're used to. I don't go near the spread on this one, 12.5 points. There's no way they're covering it.
That's insane.
It is. But I think we can all safely say that we're going with the Browns on this.
Yep.
Of course.
But I'm not betting that line. I'm just not doing it.
The bacon is getting turned little by little.
Oh, Lord.
Remember, it's a slow rise.
It's a slow. Well, Tim and I were talking right before the show that there's regular yeast and there's this fast rising yeast. I learned that over the years. So you gotta, what kind is it? Sometimes you just gotta slow it down. If you open up that oven, or if you're doing the yeast on the outside with the self rising yeast, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of things that you can go to there. All right, next up, which is a game that has been it's been a great rivalry over the years. Drew Brees is out of it now, obviously, and his newfound hair out of. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
He definitely has plugs in there, which is fine.
Hey man, he's retired. Let him live his life.
But I do feel that if I was on that broadcast, if I was with him, I would have been like, hey, live on air, I don't care. Hey, Drew, tell me the truth. It would have been nice if Jameis maybe threw a pick just to kind of go along with the 5 touchdown, throw a couple of picks in there. But so this is in Carolina. Both teams are 1-0. Saints are heading to Carolina. New Orleans has won 4 straight games in this rivalry, and the Saints on the road are a 3-point favorite here. Timmy, who you got here?
This was the hardest game to pick.
Yep, because you just don't know. Is Jameis Winston 1 game? It's tough.
That's what I'm saying. I am going to go with the Panthers at home. I'm shocking the world. Shocking the world right now.
Shocking the world.
You really trust Sam Darnold that much?
No, I trust everybody else. And I don't think Jameis Winston's going to throw 5 more touchdowns. Maybe not for the rest of the year. So, we'll see.
Listen, Timmy needs that running back play. He needs the running back play. Mello, who you got here?
I'm going who dat? Saints.
Who dat? Look at you trusting the Saints with Jameis Winston.
They got Kamara too. I'd rather have Kamara over Sam Darnold than Christian McCaffrey.
That's an interesting argument. If you that number one, it's a big battle of monster running backs who can catch the ball, and we saw that CMC had 80 plus rushing yards and 80 plus receiving yards. Kamara is obviously able to do the same thing. It's going to be very, very interesting.
At the end of the day, I think I trust as much as he's bad. I trust Winston a little bit more than I do Darnold.
Yeah. So right. So you weigh the running backs and then you weigh the quarterback, and it could kind of swing in any direction. Bert, who you got in this one?
I got the Saints, daddy.
Oh, the Saints go marching in. I got the Saints also. Raul and Terzio have the Saints. See, these are the things.
Shocking the world. I'm shocking the world this
these
week.
are the things that I need to. I couldn't catch Tim last year. I finished 3 games out. Ed was there somewhere, and then it was everybody else. I'm coming for you this year, Tim. I'm coming for you. What do we have here next? So that's the last of the 1:00 games. We divide our Sundays up between 1:00 game. If there's a London game, we got the 9, we got the 1, we got the 4:00, and we got the Sunday night game. It's heaven. Terzio said, "Hey Tim, send some pizza over to Mets fans." Look, see the hand is being brought out here. The hand, it's like Macho Man it's like Hogan and Macho Man.
I'm doing just fine on my own, styling.
Hey, EJ Clee, we're gonna get through this next game, and then we'll get to your question on the PPR league. So Vikings Cardinals. I don't know. I don't even know what to think about the Vikings right now. But the Cardinals, I thought it would be a little bit more, but the Cards at home are a 4-point favorite over the Vikings. Bert, who you got in this one?
I got the Cards.
Got the Cardinals. Mello?
Yep, the Cardinals. Dirty Birds.
Timmy, Big Daddy T.
I agree.
You agree? I do also.
Frank, anybody can be a linebacker for the Jets. Anybody.
and
I don't know if that was I don't know if you're trying to insult me or saying, but anybody can be a linebacker for the Jets, so it's okay.
Go make that money, Timmy. Go make that money. Terzio got the Vikings in this one. Raul has the Cardinals. Yeah, it's a clean sweep for the Cardinals here, and I think it's got to be a 4-point. Terzio says his ex-wife could be a linebacker for the Cardinals. There you go. See, I told you. It's all good for the ex-wife jokes. Fantastic. All right, let's get back to EJ Clee. No association to AJ Lee. Full PPR. Start 3. At least 1 running back and 1 wide receiver. You got DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, Damian Harris, Tyson Williams, and Elijah Mitchell. So you got to pick 3. There's got to be 1 wide receiver. So let's start with the wide receiver here. DJ Moore. Who are they playing this week?
Panthers?
Oh, it's Carolina. They're playing New Orleans.
They're playing New Orleans. We just covered that game.
We literally just covered that.
Yeah, and then
Smith is playing the Niners.
Is playing the Niners. So who do you guys go there? This is why he asked the question.
Yeah, I think because even though I'm not a fan of the team, just because I feel like he's very talented and he showed off, I'm gonna go Devontae Smith.
Timmy, the wide receivers.
I actually like DJ Moore. I do. I think he's one of those going to be a big surprise this year as far as fantasy goes. I like
Bert?
DJ Moore.
Yeah, I'm a big DJ Moore guy too. I feel like he has the ability to go off certain games.
No bye week yet, Terzio. That's later in this year, especially now we got the 18 weeks. So sometimes on this show we're gonna confuse the shit out of you because I'm gonna go with Devontae Smith also. So you're right down the middle. We didn't help you there at all. Terzio or Raul, DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, be the tiebreaker. From a running back perspective, you got Damian Harris, Tyson Williams, and Elijah Mitchell. Harris is going against the Dolphins. Williams is going against who? Where are we? Ravens.
Chiefs.
Who are the Ravens playing? Chiefs. And then you got Elijah Mitchell against the Eagles. So we can pick both Devontae Smith and DJ Moore, but we'd have to pick just one out of these guys.
And it's PPR, so...
Right. So you got to think Damian Harris, Tyson Williams, Elijah Mitchell. Where's the guy who's going to be able to catch the most balls out of the backfield? Bert, who you got here?
If it was me, I'd probably put Harris.
I think Damian Harris is going to have a monster game this week.
Yeah.
I think he ran into a situation last week that he didn't like, and he never wants to be in that situation ever again. Timmy, would you pick? Well, first, would you pick 2 running backs and 1 wide receiver, or opposite?
No, I think I'd pick both wide receivers and then go. The Eagles, they have a pretty decent. I would go Damian Harris also. I would.
All right, Mello, be our tiebreaker here.
So I'm just gonna go Devonta Smith. I'm gonna go Tyson Williams, just because I feel like the Chiefs did have a little bit of a struggle on that running back game. And then I really want to go Mitchell.
So you got some people in the comments saying Mitchell.
But again, I don't trust their running backs either. So I'll go Harris. So Harris, Smith, and Williams.
So you got Damian Harris, Devontae Smith, and Tyson Williams. Great. I mean, I don't think you go wrong here. If you want to ride the hot hand, if you choose to do that, Elijah Mitchell is just a fantastic option out there because they need the running game. That's a need. But and Damian Harris the same way. Tyson Williams, Lamar can easily pick that up, even though that he's going to be involved in every play. He's got that escapability. But Timmy mentioned, there's a fumbleitis type thing that goes along with the escapability because you're out there dodging, going left and right, juking left and right. So,
well, EJ, if you lose, don't blame us. If you win, just give us 5% of the winnings, and we'll call it even.
But no matter what, continue to watch us, please.
Yes, exactly.
We greatly appreciate that.
Spread the word. Spread the word.
Spread it, baby.
Ooh, that was rough.
Like Mello spreads that yeast out there, man. That yeast spread out there. All right, let's continue down with the last few games here. Falcons, the playoff-bound Falcons, as so many people out there like to say on all those expert networks. They head to the Bucs, and they play the Buccaneers down in Tampa.
Are going to win this game easily.
What's this? This is another one. Let's do a guess the spread here. That means something now. You're gonna start noticing. So, Timmy, we'll start with you. We went the opposite way. What do you think the spread is on this game?
8.
8. Mello.
I was gonna say 8. I guess I'll go 9.
Price is right.
This Price is right at me. Or it's going 10. 10 just the Price is right me.
I'm gonna go 10.
See, Price is right, you son of a bitch.
All right.
Fraudgy's betting $1.
Yeah. The Bucs are 12.5-point favorites against the Falcons. Another one you kind of stay away from, but
I feel more safe with this one.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna do. That's what I was gonna say. All those in favor of the Bucs winning this game, choosing the Bucs. Everybody, all right, we're good. All right, 12.5-point favorite. Jeez. Next up, the Titans, who just struggled mightily at home against Arizona, now are going on the road and really are in danger of going 0-2 here.
Yeah.
They head to Seattle to play the Seahawks. The Seahawks are a 5-point favorite against these Titans. I'm going Seahawks. I see the Titans going 0-2, which is wow. We didn't see that. I didn't see that coming. Bert, who you got in this one?
I got the Seahawks at home. Seahawks have one of the best home field advantages in the league.
12th man out there, baby. And you got Russell Wilson, the MVP of September, October. Mello?
Yeah, I got the sea
and the
chickens.
Met Gala, I guess. All right. Timmy?
Seahawks, so put your money on the Titans.
That's it. It's one thing. There's one thing that you're going to learn on this show. If Timmy picks for the Titans, go against him. Timmy picks against Titans, go for him. Raul has Seahawks. Terzio 27-14 Seahawks is saying. Next up is the final 4 o'clock game, the 4 o'clock window. The Cowboys and that offense head to Los Angeles, where it's probably going to be 80% Cowboy fans out there because nobody likes the Chargers in Los Angeles. The Chargers are a 3-point favorite here I feel like every single Cowboy game is going to be a shootout because their offense is great, their defense is awful, and the defense can make subpar offenses look better. So Chargers 3-point favorite here. Bert, who you got in this one?
I got the Chargers. I feel like Dallas, when it comes to the end, they're gonna just give up the game. Because I wanted to mention this earlier, but I know that they're really happy with. I'm really happy with their pass game, but they need to start feeding Zeke more because Dak can't throw the ball 65 times
He's on a
game.
diet, man.
And for them, no, but I'm saying I'm not even saying that he's not even on my fantasy. I'm just saying, in general, you need to feed Zeke because you have to establish that running game because you can't have Dak throwing the ball that many times a game just to have a chance to win. And like I said, the Chargers, very good offense.
Not only that, but
very good offense. Too.
Right, you paid Zeke before you paid Prescott, and this guy is having a bowl of Campbell's soup instead of that big burger and steak. Mello, who you got in this one?
I'm going with good old Bert here, picking the Chargers.
The Chargers. Now, is that heart or head that you're picking with there?
It's mainly heart.
Right. Timmy, who you got in this one? Timmy's on mute. But
Timmy Carey.
Oh.
Okay, I'm back.
There you go.
Sorry. I was surprisingly enough, I got Whack Dak and the Fat Ewok. I think they're going to win this game. I think they're pissed off about last week, and don't get me wrong. This is the game that I would love to be wrong. If I'm wrong in this game and it costs me a week, I'm fine with that. But I do think the Cowboys are going to win this game.
Let's go Chargers.
Let's go Chargers, but they surprised the hell out of me last week. The Cowboys, they really, really did. I didn't expect them to play that well. So, shut up, Kyle.
But either way, this has the Kyle. But this has the makings of a 38-31, 41-35 type of a game with the weapons that they have in Los Angeles. With that defense, that's rough, man. Yeah. I will go with, I don't know. I'm going with the Chargers, but I don't know if it's my heart or my head that I'm going with. Because, the Chargers are favored here, and it is because they're home. If not, maybe it's a push. Maybe it's 3 the opposite way.
I'm surprised they're favored, actually.
I am a little bit too, but I think the Cowboys' defense is just bad, and that offense can click with the best of them. So, all right, we have a fantasy question here from Gabe. What's up, Gabe? I got Mixon, James Robinson, Saquon. Do I put Saquon on the? That hurts my heart. Just said that. Saquon on the bench or trust him in a flex this week?
Bench.
You would bench him over Robinson?
Bench.
I don't know. I think I would put Saquon in there.
He's not back to 100%. They're not going to run him like he's 100%, and they're going against the Redskins defense.
I personally would sit him. Too.
Yeah, but we have the Jags, James Robinson, playing the Broncos.
I still trust him more than...
I think I would trust Saquon a little bit more than Robinson.
I don't see Saquon playing as much. That's the only problem. It could come out to be even. I'm just saying what I would do personally, Gabe. You can take a census if you like. I personally would not play Saquon.
I do have a follow-up, though, Gabe. Is this, one spot for these 3 guys? Or is it that you're already starting Mixon and Robinson and you want to know whether or not to put Saquon in the flex? Because if it's one of these 3...
Mixon.
You got to go Mixon.
Yeah.
For me, it's Mixon, Saquon, Robinson. For me. But definitely Mixon in that first spot. We gotta wait and see what Saquon, as the games go along, and he's showing that he's healthy. He gets more involved in the game. That's when you start, really utilize him. I know it's tough to have Saquon on your bench after you drafted him in the first round, probably. But especially if you're 0-1, you want to get that win out of the way. So if that's the case, you go Mixon. For me, it's Mixon, Saquon, and Robinson there. But Timmy makes extremely valid points. because we just don't know, and we really don't want him to get hurt again. No. All right, Sunday night game of the week. It is the Chiefs heading to Baltimore. 1-0, heading over to Baltimore to play the 0-1 money-sucking Ravens, sucking money out of my bank account. The Chiefs are a 3.5. There it is, that famous 3.5 point favorite heading into Baltimore. Timmy, who you got in this one?
Chiefs. After what happened last week, I like the Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Mello.
Yep, got the Chiefs as well.
Bert.
I got my boy Kermit and the Chiefs. Hey guys, we have to go out there and have a good game.
Yeah, it's the Kermit the Frog thing there. I'm going with the Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs can more than cover this. The Ravens are down, they're hurt, they are coming off that loss, but I think they can double or triple this spread. Because you know what Casey likes to do. They like to pummel you and whatnot, and they were not able to do that to the Browns last week, so they're going to get their first practice in this week against the Ravens. So that's the Sunday night game. We head to Monday night. Come on, guys, relax. Yeah, the man sucked last week. The whole team sucked last week, but they're playing the Lions in Green Bay. What's the spread, Bert? Is Bert okay? Thought he got frozen up there.
No, I'm good.
That's how you gotta wake Bert up out of his deep sleep.
The spread is. I would say probably. I don't think it's going to be as bad as I think. I think most people would think it would be. I think it's going to be maybe Packers 5.5.
Okay, Mello.
Damn, can I go last?
Yes. Yeah. Timmy.
Because he wants to go one above me.
Hey, I know.
I just want to see because I feel like.
I like 7.5.
7.5. Mello.
12.
Oh, you went way up.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, you went over, so you lose. Look, but Raul guesses it on the money.
11. I was
The
gonna go 10.
Packers are an 11-point favorite.
Wow.
They're taking
you have your phone in your hand, Raul. Are you checking these stats, Raul?
But Vegas is taking into consideration angry Aaron Rodgers is coming out this week, and it's not going to be pretty for Detroit. It's not going to be pretty for my fantasy team and the other league. I'm going to get demolished this week. This is hands down Green Bay. They may or may not cover, but if it's an angry Aaron Rodgers, they might double that. They might cover that by double. Jared Goff. Everybody's got Green Bay here.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because we don't want to get crazy here. I do want to preview real quick the fantasy matchups in our league this week. You got look at me. I'm playing the Stugatz Army. I'm playing Kyle. It's the Cowboy fan coming into Giants territory. Oh my God, it's Rodgers.
Oh, you got Rodgers again.
You got Rodgers twice.
Oh my God, what are we doing here, guys?
Rodgers and Jones.
Stupid fantasy. Yeah, it's both. I gotta check my other league. I'm probably playing Rodgers in all three leagues.
Oh, man, Raul, I'm gonna watch the Mets too right after this. I'm gonna watch that.
This is rough for me, guys.
I'll watch it when I want to go to bed.
Oh, get out of here. You'll watch it and you'll be like, oh my God, that team was awesome. And they had a lot of fun.
It's how are they still alive?
Yeah, that's true too.
How are they? By the way, just a little spoiler for Steve because you haven't seen it yet. Well, Lenny Dykstra.
I heard that he had to be driven. Like, do you guys know who Cousin Sal is with Kimmel and he does the Fox stuff? So Cousin Sal, who's called on the show, he had to pick him up and drive him somewhere to do the interview because Dykstra said that the place where he was not the best for an interview. What that means, I don't know. Did he have some stuff laying around from '86?
Probably.
In lines on the counter, on the bathroom counter, or whatnot. But no, it was a party team, Mello. It was
Dykstra,
cocaine and
he looks 90 years old. He's got a big wad in his mouth. Every other word out of his mouth is fuck. It's hysterical.
and they don't censor it, right? That's what I heard.
They don't censor
which is on ESPN. That's what?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
Yeah,
I was ESPN taking strides.
And this also proves something else. And I know Terzio's going to get on my ass for it, but you just shut up for a second. Keith Hernandez hates Gary Carter. Hates Gary Carter.
Hates
Gary Carter.
I know this is a football show, but
sorry guys, I know I'm good.
I've heard conversations with Keith Hernandez where he said something odd here and there about Gary Carter. The whole team hated him when he was on the Expos. He was. They called him cocky. They called him arrogant, always smiling, all that stuff. But Gary Carter wasn't an arrogant player. He was just one of the best catchers around at the time. But I've heard some of that tone in Keith Hernandez's voice.
Even after he was on the Mets. Wait till you watch it, you'll see.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. But I found that Lenny Dykstra thing to be hysterical. That he had to go get picked up for somewhere appropriate.
I was rolling it every time he talks. First of all, he can't talk. Big wad in his mouth. 90 years old, and every other word is fuck. It's hysterical.
But he wants to fight Ron Darling.
He's talking about Kevin Mitchell. He's like, guy's a fucking beast. And it's like the way he talks, like what the hell's going on here?
They said they couldn't bleep anything out because everything would have been bleeped out for Lenny Dykstra. So
yeah, it was fantastic.
All right, for the sake of time here, we'll talk about the ones that we're involved in. The Yeast Rising, you had to face Team Crushers. You're projected to lose by 3 points. I mean, that's not but let's not sleep through kickoff maybe this week. Maybe set the lineup a little early.
No, I mean, I'll be awake.
We're going to start calling Dave A and PM. That's what we're going to start calling you. Your new nickname is going to be A and PM.
Remember, my last day of work is Friday, so I'm
it is Friday. Yes. All right. Good stuff there. You have Kamara. He's got Harris. He's got Cook. He's got Lamar Jackson. You got the Yeast. So it again, early on in the season, a lot of evenly matched teams. As injuries start going on, you got to go to waiver wire. That's when you start separating yourselves out. The Savages, you get to have your revenge against Rodriguez in his auto draft. You're projected right now to lose by 6 points, but again, projections are just that. He's got Herbert, you got Brady.
I'll play with my lineup too right up until 12:59. I play with my lineup. So,
all right, and then Bert, I want you to change your name to something other than Team Campa. Let's do that.
Team Champa.
But you have Brian Hump sucks this week. He's 1-0. You're 1-0. Something's got to give. You're projected to win by 4 points. You got Mahomes. He's got Murray. And it's funny. All the second highest scorers are your backup quarterbacks. So he's got Jalen Hurts, of course he does, and you got Big Ben, Waller. He's got Hill. It's going to be very, very interesting.
Hey Bert, you want Melvin Gordon?
Oh, we're talking trades. No, we gonna trade live here on the show?
I'm good on running backs, my friend.
Are you sure? I mean, running backs look a little sus a little bit.
Nah, I have
Fournette's not even starting this week. Come on now.
That's why he's on the flex. That's okay.
No, but you got to take him out. Who do you have on your bench here? You got you got Pittman. You got McCole Hardman.
Yeah, I could put.
You have options here. Yeah. Hey, listen, Mooney's going to have that game. He's going to have a type of game that led to his breakout last year and then fizzle. So maybe you catch lightning in a bottle this week against Cincy with Darnell Mooney.
Yeah,
Stranger things have happened. All right, so I think that really does it for us this week. Anybody have a game of the week for this week? I'm looking through here. Nothing really sticks out.
I think the most hype game is going to be Dallas and the Chargers, but I think the best game is going to be Dolphins and Bills.
Both could be very, very, very factual there. Mello disagrees. What do you got here?
I don't know. I'd say 49ers Eagles might be a little bit more interesting than that.
I hope not, because I hope just the Eagles get destroyed. But that's a possibility too. Because again, you go into the seasons and you're like, oh, the Eagles are picked to finish last everywhere, but they probably look the best. How fast that they were and whatnot. But again, one game into it.
Yeah. That or Titans and the Seahawks if the Titans wake up.
Watch it be like the Texans and Browns in a shootout, and the Texans win by a point.
It's not gonna happen.
Timmy, any picks for potential game of the week?
I like the Bills and Dolphins also. I'm looking forward to that one. And I think, Dave, you picked the Giants, which I'm happy you did, but you forget one important thing. We play on Thursday night. Giants don't win on Thursdays, Mondays, or Sunday nights.
Anything that has a night in it.
If this was a 1:00 game on Sunday, I'd probably pick the Giants to win that game. Swear to God, I go by the time, the day they play.
It's facts.
You're right.
It's all factual.
I can't remember the last time they won on there.
But at least Sunday, I can just sit back, put the red zone on, and be like, I have no stress because my team's already lost or already won or whatever. So watch those games.
Yeah, and now with who is on the Giants' offense and the football team's offense, there's few and far. You got Barkley that you're probably running out there because of where you picked him. What's this guy's name? Gibson. You got him out there. You can't start Fitz anymore. So McLaurin. These are the decisions that you're gonna have to make tomorrow. Yeah, Logan Thomas is a. I wish we had a tight end that I can speak about for fantasy.
Is Ingram still?
He's out. He's done. He's not playing. They already called him out for the game. It's his calf. He's got a calf issue. This time.
This time.
Say it, Timmy.
Fragile.
Yes. Fantasy is interesting in itself, but then you got to get those decisions on the short weeks, on the Thursdays. But they're prime time guys. In a week where maybe that Saints and Carolina game is on a Thursday night, and you got to pick between several wide receivers, not a Kamara or CMC. Those are auto starts, but like a Callaway, like these guys were talking about earlier, you got to make this decision on Thursday, and then it's like Sunday comes around, and the guy you put on the bench on the Thursday put up 37 points, and you're already screwed. I hate fantasy, but I love it too. All right, let's go round robin here with any final thoughts on this episode 2 of the unnamed NFL and fantasy football show that we hope to have named by next week. Timmy, we'll start with you. Any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. Watch the We Stomp Jaws show tomorrow night and watch my head explode while we play the Groundhog Day music. And
Groundhog Day.
Just shit on our own team because they're just terrible. Tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow. That's misery.
It's misery.
And not only are we on, are we on tomorrow, but it is a pregame show.
It's a pregame show.
It's turned into a pregame show.
Yep, which is awesome.
Yep. Mello?
No, nothing, guys. Good luck to all of you. Bert, want to make a trade? Tim, you want to make a trade? Steve, trade. I'm willing to hear you guys out.
I don't trade week 1 and 2. I let it ride. After that, we'll talk.
Okay, so maybe next week have some live trade talks on here.
Well, because just like I have Ronald Jones after last week's game, 5 minutes after the game is over. Oh, I got the alert. 5,000 people dropped Ronald Jones. Like, dude, it was one game.
And now
relax. So now we're starting this week.
And he's starting this week, yeah.
Thanks. So I got him. Thank you. So I wait till after week 2. After week 2, I start making deals.
I'm trying to see when the first time any of us play each other. It's not week 3 either. But that'll be an interesting week with shit talking and all this stuff going on. That'll be great. All right, Bert. Any closing remarks here?
No, just happy
to be nice
to
Aaron Rodgers, please.
I mean, of course, no disrespect to Aaron. But yeah, happy football's back. Good luck to everyone this week, and stay tuned to PCP for all your content that you need, because we are the pros.
We are the pros. What was the line? I gotta go back and listen to it. I already forgot it. Where the pros live. My closing thoughts are: don't get overhyped about anything week 1. Try to keep the same as in week 2, because we just don't know what these teams are yet. We don't know what guys are going to step up. There's going to be an injury, and there's going to be guys that are going to step up to put up 1,000-yard seasons because of an injury to another guy, and they finally get the chance and whatnot. So don't get too high, don't get too down on these games the first couple weeks. But week 3 and on, that's where you start really developing your team. That's the team that you're going to go with throughout the remainder of the season until an injury happens in week.
Exactly. You never know who's going to get hurt. But which, like in baseball, we can attest to how many different moves we've had to make because everyone's freaking getting hurt.
Yes.
God, I've never gone through a baseball season where I'm just like, how are so many of my guys getting hurt?
That's why I don't do. That's why I don't do baseball fantasy. It's too much.
Well, this year I think it was more along the lines with even with the NBA, less games the previous year, more injuries the following year. A lot of soft tissue issues because they only played 60 games or less the year before. So that's what's been going around baseball this year. It's been incredible. But that'll do it for us this week. We appreciate you guys watching. Dave, thanks for making your debut this week. Bert, you're more than welcome anytime. I wish you the best of luck this week. Not in that league though, because I got to face Rogers in multiple leagues. I'm gonna let you guys know after the show if in that third league, if I play Rogers, I'm just gonna sit everybody and just be done with it. Angry Rogers is coming for me. We appreciate you watching. Go to popculturepros.com. There's several contests up there. Digital codes for F9 and for the Boss Baby family business. So really something for everybody in that respect. Tons of different contests coming up. Lots of reviews. All good stuff. All the shows go up there. So go ahead, head over to popculturepros.com and see what all of us and all of them are doing. Great things on the network. Fantastic shows up and down. Terzio can attest to that. That being said, we will talk to you guys next week. Hopefully, there's not a lot of craziness that goes on, so I can start.
Do you know the standings yet, or are you gonna release that tomorrow?
I do. You want to take a look at that? Dave finishes in first place last week at 10-6. Everybody else, Bert went 9-7, Align 9-7. A whole shit ton of people went 8-8. Tony Rodriguez, Eric, Kyle, Tim. I did have to make an adjustment because I had given everybody who picked the Vikings the victory for some reason. But I made that adjustment. I went 7-9. Joe went 7-9. I'm in last place.
I'm surprised. I never get first place in any of these things.
That's an accurate statement.
Again, that's because I picked with this and not with this last week.
That's what you got to do.
It'll be very interesting. This is always fun to go through the picks and whatnot and see who comes out on top at the end. For everybody here on this broadcast, we'll talk to you guys next week. Peace out, everybody, and enjoy Football Sunday and Thursday.